Greetings, everyone. Dr. Brian Scott with you. We're teaching Insights to End Times just to give you some insight as to where we are on God's last days timetable. We're in the last days. We're in 2 Timothy chapter 3 this session today. Verse number 1 says, "Know this, in the last days, perilous times will come." This is a very short verse, carries a lot of weight, carries a lot of meaning. And we're going to begin a series because Paul, in these verses, in 2 Timothy 3, outlines 25 signs of the last days. Now, when you combine that with Jesus sharing 16 signs of the last days in the book of Matthew 24, you have approximately 41 signs pointing to the last days. How could we possibly be misinformed or uninformed about where we are in God's timetable? Yeah, it's impossible, not with all this information available to us. So let's look at this first verse. It says, "Know this, in the last days, perilous times will come." This word last days in the Greek has quite an extended meaning. What a powerful meaning. It comes from the Greek word eschatos. We get the word eschatology from it, which is the study of end times, eschatology. This is eschatos. And in the Greek language, what it means is last port, last destination. In the time this was written, when Paul was writing, a lot of goods were moved from port to port. Ship carried those goods, groceries, consumer goods, retail goods, and so on. They would be loaded on a ship, and it would have an itinerary, various ports they went to, and the last port was called the eschatos port. It was the last port, and what it really means is it's the final port. There's no other place to go. It's done. It's finished at that time. It's the last port of call. If we were looking at our calendar, December is the eschatos month. It's the last month of the year. The 31st of December is the last day of the year. So this means last of the last. Nothing beyond it. It's terminal. It's final. It's the last port. We're in those last days. Now we know the church age are the last 2 days in the 6 days of creation. 6 days, God created. Last day, he rested. 6 days translates into 6,000 years, according to the St. Peter. Apostle Peter stated that in his writings. 1,000 days is like a day in the eyes of the Lord, and vice versa. So we have 6,000 years of life on earth, and then we have a 1,000-year period, and then Jesus Christ will rule and reign. Well, think about it. It was 4 days up to the birth of Jesus, and the last 2 days are the church age, roughly 2,000 years in length. And the church age began on the day of Pentecost, Acts chapter 2, when the outpouring of the Holy Spirit occurred. So you had 2030 AD, being the day of Pentecost, you got 2030 years. Now, I'm not trying to pinpoint a date or time. All I'm saying is we're in the last days, in the very last days. We'll have more on this verse tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you then. Call you blessed.